Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are plunging into, well, a really fascinating challenge. How exactly do you pick the perfect team for a mission to Mars? We've got some compelling source material here laying out specific guidelines, even candidate profiles for just this kind of epic task.
That's right. And the material we're looking at, it presents this really complex problem, doesn't it? Assembling this crew from a pool of, highly qualified people. The goal is explicitly to build the absolute strongest team possible for that Mars journey.
Right.
It's not just getting folks there, it's making sure they can, succeed and survive in pretty extreme isolation.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit. So the core mission, obviously reaching Mars, but it's building either a 4 or a 6-person crew using these specific criteria from the source.
Yeah.
That immediately tells you this isn't just like picking your favorites.
Yeah.
There are strict structural requirements involved.
Exactly. And the first fundamental rule the source highlights: leadership. It's non-negotiable. Every single crew must have a commander. And this role, it isn't just a title. The commander is solely responsible for the vehicle, leading the crew, maintaining overall safety, and, ultimately ensuring the mission actually succeeds.
Wow, that's a massive responsibility, especially when you're millions of miles from Earth.
No kidding.
So beyond the commander, you've got the rest of the team, the crew members. What does the source say are their key duties?
Right. The crew members are basically the mission's engine room. They handle, everything else: piloting, vehicle ops, maneuvering the robotic arm for external tasks, docking, undocking.
So hands-on stuff.
Yeah, and the vital monitoring of life support systems, which for Mars means really intricate management of air, water recycling, food resources, plus science experiments, managing supplies. It's a long list.
That list alone just underscores the sheer breadth of expertise needed. But the source goes deeper than just listing roles, doesn't it? It specifies crucial requirements, qualifications for these individuals.
It does. For starters, the commander isn't just a leader. They absolutely must be a trained pilot, which really emphasizes the operational nature of command in deep space. And sure, all astronauts get basic vehicle operation training. That's standard prep. But here's where it gets really interesting, and it speaks to the unique demands of Mars. The source explicitly details that many candidates are extensively cross-trained.
Cross-trained.
Yeah, trained to perform a whole variety of duties.
Cross-training. Okay, that seems incredibly important for a multi-year journey, right? Where things will inevitably break or specialists might, be unavailable.
Totally.
It feels like the source is almost screaming, redundancy is paramount.
Well, it raises this really important question about the whole selection strategy, doesn't it? The source gives you clear constraints to work within. Crew size is fixed, 4 or 6. You always need one commander. And critically, you must have at least 2 crew members capable in each specific category listed on their skills chart.
Wait, hang on. At least 2 in each category. So you can't just load up on engineers if you're short on geologists.
Yeah.
You need that depth across the board.
Precisely. It enforces a minimum level of team capability in every single required domain. But it doesn't stop there. Each individual crew member, the source states, must be skilled in at least 3 different areas.
3. Not just 1 or 2 complementary skills, but actual proficiency in at least 3 distinct fields. That seems, wow, that's a high bar.
It is.
What does that tell us about the philosophy behind this crew selection?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, deep space missions, that 3 skills per person rule, plus the 2 people per skill category rule, it highlights a core principle for survival far from Earth: self-sufficiency, resilient redundancy.
I see.
You're not just building a team of specialists, you're building a team where multiple people can cover essential functions if needed. If your main medical officer gets sick...
Someone else has to step in.
Exactly. If your primary propulsion engineer is out, someone else must have significant cross-training to troubleshoot that system.
So it's really about building a human system robust enough to handle failure modes that Earth-based support just can't fix immediately.
You got it.
And the source also mentions all these candidates have already done basic astronaut training, spent extensive time on the space station. So you're picking from an already elite pool.
Correct. The challenge isn't finding competent people. It's selecting the right combination from this already highly qualified group, making sure all the role requirements, the size constraints, the individual skill breadth, and the team skill depth requirements are met, all at the same time.
Right.
To create a cohesive unit that's prepared for those intense psychological and technical pressures of a Mars mission.
So what this really boils down to, building a Mars crew, according to this source, is like solving a multi-layered optimization puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
You're balancing specific roles like commander, ensuring that critical minimum of redundancy through all this mandated cross-training and skill distribution, and meeting strict numerical and technical criteria, all from a pool of incredibly capable individuals. It's about building a mini society that can essentially fix itself.
Exactly. It moves way beyond just theoretical capability to practical, demonstrable resilience through these layered skill sets.
And that brings us perfectly to our final thought for you, the listener, to consider. Given how strongly this source emphasizes these structured skill sets and cross-training
Yeah.
based on, predefined requirements, how might unforeseen challenges or genuine emergencies, things unique to deep space, stuff you just can't fully simulate, how might those change the real-world priorities for skills selection once you're actually out there, millions of miles from home?
Yeah.
Does pure flexibility or maybe a specific sort of niche builder-fixer mentality suddenly become way more important than the formally listed proficiencies?
That's certainly something worth pondering as we look towards these future missions.
Indeed it is. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into assembling a crew for the Red Planet.
Thank you.